advancing in 1 minute. So just go live now.
Okay, yeah, I'm going now. Hold on. Start streaming. Share. Link. Broadcast link. All right, we are live on YouTube. Let me share. Change windows to IRC. Testing. 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 Say something now, Matthew.
All right, testing, 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 testing.
Testing. Testing.
Testing as well.
Testing. Say something now, Matthew.
All right, testing,
All right.
testing, testing.
All right, we sounded good there. Turn the game capture up just a little bit. All right. I know we're live and we sound like a babbling idiot for everybody that is out there right now, but it is our first time doing this Pscrl series. Welcome in. We're getting ready to advance from practice to qualifying. I've got my good buddy Matthew Wood in the booth as the session has been advanced now to qualify. Matthew, how are you tonight?
I'm doing quite well. We've been practicing for this. We've taken quite a bit to get everything set up, but it's worked. We're going into qualifying now. We'll see what people can do in qualifying. Of course, we're spectating, and a lot of people that have been fast this week. Of course, I was top of the timing tables in practice, but that was practice for all events. This is only the people who have not won a race in the past couple of seasons. The people have been really fast, though. Landon Burbage, he's usually mid-pack to the front of the pack in trucks, but he comes alive when it comes to this car. But the track is very hot. We mentioned this, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can adapt to this.
Alrighty, let's look at our track facts here for the night. Matthew, take it away.
Track facts here tonight. Let me go back here. Track facts for tonight. This track is usually the host and used to be called Lowe's Motor Speedway. It's the home of NASCAR. NASCAR Hall of Fame, just a couple miles from the racetrack. I have actually passed this Hall of Fame. Of course, Charlotte Motor Speedway, the central portion of North Carolina, and where this is located. Charlotte has always been a staple of NASCAR. It's called the home of NASCAR. Although Daytona was really the first place these guys raced, this is where everything was set up. We've seen some good racing here in the past. Bobby Labonte and Jimmy Johnson coming off of 4. Johnson just barely edges out the 18 of Labonte, gets the win by a couple thousandths of a second. Can we see that today? Will we see that today? Who will be the man to do it? The outside lane, the inside lane both work, but the inside lane going to be dominant in qualifying. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the race goes. And usually used to be the host of the NASCAR All-Star race, but of course that's been moving around recently along with the Clash. So we thought it was good to come here. It's fitting to come here, and we thought it was right.
Absolutely. We're looking at some qualifying times here. I'm kind of messing around with SDK here. Looks like the 21 of Bellinger is quickest, followed by Burbage, White, McDonald, Horvath, Gleason, and Fleetwood. Depending on how many people we have qualify here and start the race, is going to determine how many drivers we take to the feature. Give us an idea of the drivers that you see so far, 7 that have taken pace. Who do you expect to run well tonight in the feature?
Well, I'm surprised to see Tyler up there. Tyler wasn't the fastest in practice. He wasn't really doing much. Burbage, though, he is only P2, which is a bit surprising to me. He is 89 thousandths away from the pole. So 800ths is quite a bit. That's almost a tenth of a second. So I would have to imagine that Burbage messed up his qualifying lap. But Bellinger got a very, very nice lap going there. So he's going to be at the front definitely, but it's going to be up to who can save tires, who's going to avoid that aero block. Then behind them, Danny White up in P3, a very, very nice qualifying for him. And Benjamin Romano, a very nice qualifying for him in the second row as it stands at the moment. Benjamin, pretty good at qualifying, but he needs to work on his race pace. Back at Dover a few weeks ago, I was on pole, and right behind me, a couple thousandths behind me, Benjamin stood. So Benjamin, very, very good at qualifying, but as we saw in the past, he just kind of falls off. He doesn't really have the race pace. And Thomas, like I mentioned in practice, he's going to have a little bit of work to do. He's P5 out of 8 right now. Behind him, McDonald, Fleetwood, Ben, and that would round it out so far. Not very many people are going to be participating in the Open. Of course, a lot of drivers in here at the moment, but that is just a lot of the drivers who have won in the past few seasons, and a lot of these guys in the Open are going to go to the main event. Of course, we have the Open winner, and then we have the fan vote, who is the most popular out of these guys. A lot of people were talking about it. If he was here, Pscrl Robbins would have been the popular vote, but he is spending his Easter weekend with his family.
Absolutely. Now, as we'll take a look at the All-Star event information that I've got here in Discord, if 11 or less entries take qualifying time and race, only 3 people are going to advance into the feature. That's going to be interesting. They do have one set of tires. Tell me how that one set of tires can play into the race.
Well, it's not going to be a very long Open. Of course, 20 laps. It's still enough to burn your tires, though. So you've got to be careful, but you've got to be in this kind of scenario, you've got to be in the in-between. Are you going to run hard, or are you going to run soft? If there is a qualifying time, you're up at the front, let's say the tough decision's going to come if halfway in, then caution comes out. So are you going to take tires? Are you going to lose track position? Is other people going to come in behind you? Are they going to take tires? How do your tires feel? You got to bring in all of that into your mind, as now we're getting set up on the grid. It will be Bellinger, Burbage, White, Romano, Horvath, Brookover, who sits at a late qualifying time, McDonald, Fleetwood, and Gleason. And that will round out your field.
Alrighty, so now it's crunch time. You've got 3 drivers that are going to advance to the feature. Who's it going to be?
I'm calling Burbage. I'm calling Bellinger. And I think Benjamin, Romano, and Horvath are going to be the next 2 that are going to be very, very close on who's going to make it. I think, personally, if Burbage doesn't make it in and race his way in, he is going to be 100% the fan vote, I think. But we'll see how it goes. Burbage is very popular, but then you have other people in here. Fleetwood's made himself known. Brookover, of course, a long-time veteran. Horvath. They're all in here, and they are all here for a fight. But anything could happen in this race. We got 25 seconds until the pace car rolls off. And our little pace car driver there, that's an NPC, never being a human being, fortunately.
I tell you what, there's nothing scarier than when you're driving and the pace car just comes flying through your car when the caution comes out.
Completely sideways, and you think it's somebody just not paying attention, and you get run through, but then you're like, oh, it's the pace car.
Yes, absolutely. I've got to say that I think that the 21, the 2, I got to go Thomas Horvath for the 3rd.
What do you think? That's basically that's basically what we said.
Yeah.
So here we go. We're rolling now. For my end.
Absolutely. We are rolling on the track. We got 1 pace lap, and then we're going to be going green.
Again, not many drivers in here, though, but it's all on the flagman, so Bellinger can't get a jump. Will he be able to stick it on the inside? Burbage has been known to put it on people's doors if he trusts them. Does he trust Bellinger? Will he go right to his door? Because that's going to get him tight. He's going to have to back out. But Burbage then takes that risk of putting yourself in the outside wall very early when you have a shot later on. If you just play it smart and you save your tires, you play the restart smart, don't take yourself out early. That's what all these drivers have to be thinking. Don't take yourself out early. You got to take it early, but don't be too aggressive.
Alrighty, we're coming out of turn 4 here, getting ready to go to the green flag for the Pscrl first inaugural All-Star Open and All-Star Race night. Let's go a little crank it up to start the race, unless we have some action with a wreck. Let's just keep it silent for the first lap as we go. Pace car is off. We're coming down to the green flag. We got Bellinger and Burbage on the front row. Into the restart zone. Barney the front man. Green flag is out. Let's watch it for a lap here.
As we barreled down the front straightaway, it was a good start for Horvath, but he got pinned down to the bottom. But up front, Burbage, he got the lead right off the bat. He put his left front on the right rear of the 21. He leads coming off of turn 2 by about 2 car lengths, and now he is aero blocking the 21 of Bellinger. He got a good jump, but not as good as Bellinger. He had to put it on his door. He went wide, cut back down, got the lead as they came off of turn number 2. He's now clear as Bellinger got a little bit loose coming off of turn number 4. But behind him, Danny White, he's still keeping in the tracks of these guys as we reach lap number 3 of the Open.
Yeah, Landon's really flirting with the throttle. I think he's trying to save tire. He got really tight off of turn 2 last lap. Much cleaner that lap. As the 21 chasing down right now, it's Burbage, Bellinger, and White in the top 3 transfer spots, followed by Romano, Horvath, McDonald, Gleason, Behringer, Brookover, Fleetwood, Matheson to round out the field. Let's go through the field as we go. We got pretty good single file racing. No one's really upset going around anybody right now. I think everybody's just trying to bide their time, Matthew.
Everybody is trying to bide their time. And up front, we'll go through the field. Burbage, again, got a good jump as we head into 3 and 4. He leads just about a car length and a half over Bellinger, and it's the exact same gap to White behind him, and then Romano behind him. Then you got a little bit of a bigger gap from Horvath to McDonald and Gleason. They're all 3 in a big little blanket here. And McDonald tried to get to the inside last lap of Horvath, not really able to do anything right now. He's getting very tight behind the back bumper of that 04 machine. Going back behind Gleason is Melvin. He didn't have the best start. He's got a big gap to Gleason. Behind him is Brookover. Brookover, he started close to the back, but he's not been able to make any ground. And off the restart behind him was Josh Fleetwood. He did not get a good jump. He had to back off, and something's happened to Tobias. Something happened on the restart that we did not see. He is about half a lap or more behind the leaders, and I mentioned him in practice how good he was doing, but it all might go to waste here.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, Matthew. We'll have to take a look here if we get a break on what happened to Tobias. He's 16.2 seconds behind right now as Landon Burgridge continues to lead the field, but it looks like Bellinger is starting to bring it in just a little bit within 2.5 tenths of Burbage.
Looks like everybody's starting to close in a little bit. The gap has not really increased from Horvath back there, but up in the front pack, Bellinger's been running down Burbage, and you got to wonder, has Burbage burned up his tires running up front? Has he burned up his stuff trying to get away from Bellinger, and it's going to end up costing him? But here comes Danny White and Romano. They're still in this picture as well. They're looking behind them. You can see that black car and that white car behind now Bellinger. These guys aren't losing any ground to the leaders, and behind them, of course, a big gap, but These guys have just been running single file as we now right along board with Romano behind the Jack Daniels number 74.
Looks like he's going down into 4th gear and then up to 5th gear. Matthew, do you feel like that's the best thing to do in this stage?
That's the best way to get lap time. That's what I found to do lap time with. But personally, I don't know if that's good for tires. Burbage staying in 5th gear, he said that was personally faster for him, which kind of surprised me. I didn't think that not shifting would be any faster whatsoever. But it is for him. He's being very quick.
Bellinger's
looking
also
to the
staying
inside.
in 5th. He is taking a look inside here.
But he is staying in 5th like you mentioned. So that's interesting. We're going to have to see if that's going to burn up their tires or going to help their tires. Personally, I found more rotation by going into 4th gear as Burbage up to the top, Bellinger to the bottom, and Bellinger get to his left rear corner panel. He got a good middle and not the best exit, but he's right on the back of Burbage. Here he comes down the back straightaway into turn number 3. He's to his corner panel, halfway up his door. Burbage on the outside, though, able to maintain momentum, but he had to back out of it in the middle of the corner. Bellinger to his inside, still side-by-side, drag racing down the front straightaway as we hit the line. That would be for lap number 11.
It looks like Landon might have used up his right rear and his right front, pushing, staying on the bottom there, getting back to the throttle too quickly. They got to keep, this is a big picture racing here. All you have to do is finish the top 3, and you have a chance to go and race for $100+ tonight.
And that is the key. You have to maintain your stuff. You just got to look bigger picture. Hey, I'm in the top 3 as Romano now goes into that transfer spot.
Yes, absolutely.
He passed Danny White on the inside a few laps ago. And by the way, if you look behind them, look at McDonald. McDonald has passed Horvath. He's passed the other car. I believe Fleetwood was back there with him for a little bit. But he's coming. He's coming for these guys up front. He's been gaining and gaining slowly and slowly. He's been gaining, and a 10th could mean a lot. A 10th, maybe a 10th a lap doesn't seem like much, but to these drivers, it's all about consistency. You have to be consistent with what you do.
Keep in mind, there's also $25 on the line to win this race.
And that's why they're battling so hard up front. But now you can see Landon knows if he gets that outside open, if he leaves it open when Bellinger gets to him, there's going to be no chance. Bellinger's just going to go right around the outside. And look at McDonald. McDonald's going for 4th right now on Danny White, and he's going to take that. Danny White has fallen off. He started in the P3 position, now outside, almost outside the top 5. A little bit of wall contact from both of them trying to get everything into turn 1. But now sights set on Romano for McDonald.
Yeah, absolutely. McDonald does have a fast hot rod. I believe he's been saving a little bit on his tires. We've been green all the way through here. Extremely clean racing, and it looks like, wow, look at the run he gets there coming in and into the middle. He's arcing it out all the way to the wall. It's a little loose there, but that's exactly what you want to do to gain position up on the 3rd place. He's digging it, trying to get the 3rd to advance into the All-Star race.
He needs to advance. He wants to advance, and this is his car. He doesn't really like the trucks. He's not very fast in the trucks, but it looks like he comes alive just like Burbage when it comes to the next-gen car. Up front, still Burbage and Bellinger. Bellinger not really losing any time, not gaining any time on Burbage. They're getting away from P3. That's Benjamin Romano, who's now almost under attack from the guy we were mentioning, McDonald.
Yes, absolutely. It's getting very intense as we come down. Bellinger is still looking at the inside there on Burbage. Burbage, I think, he's got that clean air, and he's aero blocking coming off the turn. Tell us a little bit more about what aero blocking means off the turn.
Aero blocking off the turn basically means you're giving them dirty air. And what does that mean? Well, it helps on the straightaway. You're in front, you're pushing all that air around your car, because if you imagine you're on the main highway, Highway 80, let's say. That's the one that's around me. You put your hand out the window. That's a lot of air when you're going 80 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour. And imagine that, but right now as they go down into turn number 1 and turn number 3, they are going 180 miles per hour. So imagine what you're doing on the highway, but 2 to 3 times more. So they're pushing that air above the car and around the car, and that's enabling Bellinger, Romano, and McDonald. They don't have to push all that air, and on the straightaway, that's good. You're gaining time. You're not pushing all that air. You're not having as much drag, or the air pushing you back. But in the corners, that air, all that wake is going back and forth on the car. It's pushing you up the racetrack. You need that air to turn, and when you don't have that air to turn, it's not pushing the front tires down. It's not giving you any grip whatsoever, and you're going to slide up the racetrack, and that's exactly what Landon's doing. You have to put more turn into it, and you have to go slower to be able to make the turn.
Absolutely, and we're looking at just taking a perspective of what the fan vote is right now. Currently, Josh Fleetwood is leading the fan vote to make his way in, and followed by, looks like, Benjamin Romano. So right now, Romano is in a transfer spot, which would actually put McDonald in the show, I believe. Depends on what the officials will rule here. We're coming down to 6 to go, Matthew, and Landon continues to keep his gap over Bellinger. I just have to think that they're just not wanting to push each other right now, just transfer to this show. It looks like McDonald has dropped off a little bit of Romano coming back, and Danny White, Horvath, Gleason, Brookover, Fleetwood, Behringer, and Matheson have just dropped off massively.
And Matheson actually started in pit road. He didn't get a chance to qualify. For some reason, he had to start in pit road. That's why he was so far back. But I do agree that Burbage and Bellinger, they're not going to be pushing each other very hard. Of course, 25 bucks on the line, but I wouldn't be pushing each other very hard. I don't want to wreck the car. I don't want to, if I'm in their shoes anyway, I don't want to wreck the car. I want to stay up front, because look at the gap as we're looking back from Burbage. Look at the gap they have behind to Romano and to Michael. And behind them, Danny White's
Romano's downshifting. He wasn't downshifting before. Does he feel pressure from McDonald?
He does. McDonald has been coming. He's slowly gaining. He started to drop off a little bit, but now he's gaining back. He's starting to gain back, and that means Romano's, I have to push. But he can't push too hard and overdrive it, especially off of turn 4. It's been loose all evening in practice, and he's been one of them struggling coming off of turn number 4, so he can't push it too hard, but he can push it now as we're coming to 3 to go.
All right, coming to 3 to go. It looks like that McDonald's went a little higher. He got loose off the turn there, and he lost a lot of time, man. The officials did put in the chat that if a top 3 driver wins the fan vote, the following driver behind him would make his way in. So right now, it looks like McDonald would make the show, and I wonder if he knows that, as we got a battle for the lead up front.
Battle for the lead. It's gone down to about half a second or less. Now a tenth of a second. Down to coming off of turn number 4. He tried the outside, not going to work for Bellinger. 2 laps to go for the number 2. Landon Burbage trying to get his inaugural win. Of course, he's never won in the series. Although it's an open win, it is still a win, and 25 bucks on the line. The 21 trying to chase down the 2 as much as he can, but Burbage is just parking that right where the racing line is. He can't do anything about it. He wants to. As we come to the white flag, Burbage is going to see it first, but he has pressure from behind from the 21.
Do you think Burbage can hang on to it here and get his first ever unofficial Pscrl victory? 1 more to go, coming through 1 and 2. I really think that 21 is just chilling out. I don't think he's going to press him at all, and Romano and McDonald are going to run their way into the All-Star race.
He gained a little bit through 1 and 2. It's going to come down to 3 and 4. Will he be able to do anything? To the outside he goes. Nothing happening so far. He backed out.
He backed out.
Nothing happening coming out of 3 and 4. Landon Burbage, congratulations, $25. Into the main event goes Burbage, Bellinger, and right now it's Romano, but will it be Michael?
We'll have to find out here and get the official name. It looks like voting has been closed. Oh, we got a tie. We got a tie. We'll have to wait for the officials to make a decision there. Right now in the Discord, it is a tie. The poll has closed. The poll has closed. Man, this is intense. This is
is
intense.
intense. These drivers don't that many of these drivers don't know if they've made it in yet or not. They haven't heard. Congratulations to Burbage. He knows he's in. Bellinger, he knows he's in. But Michael does not know if he's in. He doesn't know if he's in or not because in that P3 position was Benjamin Romano, who might have got the vote, but we don't know how they're going to decide this, whether it's Romano or Fleetwood.
Yeah, I don't know. We're waiting here. We're going to drag some people into the interview room. We're going to take the top 3 as soon as they get in. And we're still waiting for officials, folks. We're not trying to dramatize this at all. As we look at Landon doing his burnouts and super slow-mo. Let's see that race to the end here. I want to go back here where we're waiting people to join into the interview room. I want to go back. And of course, Discord is SDK is going to decide to be a pain here. So we're going to cheat. And I want to see the final lap. And I want to ride on board with our second place driver, Tyler. Go into the cockpit. And I want to know, does he let off with that run he was getting? So we're coming to lap 24 here. And he's getting a run. And let's go forward to lap 25. So this is going to be the white flag right here. So we were talking, he was getting a run. And he really gains Matthew right here. He really gets on the throttle quicker than Burbage. Now let's listen down the backstretch. Oh, yeah. He let off big time. He let off big time.
Well, he got another run, so he might have just got extremely tight coming off of 3 and 4. And that just, Burbage was able to hang on. Give it one more lap, though. That big run off of 4 that Bellinger got could have turned into $25 and a win had we had one more lap. But
yeah,
I don't know if they would have raced each other all that hard, to be honest.
Let's bring in Benjamin. Benjamin Romano, do you have a copy, brother?
Yes, I do.
How's it feel to be an all-star driver?
Still can't believe it.
Yeah.
Still cannot.
What was going through your mind there? We're looking in reverse on the broadcast booth here, and we'll super slow-mo down your 24 Liberty University Chevrolet. This is Matthew and Josh up in the booth, by the way. I know that you're relatively new with us here. So tell us, how was the race? How was everything playing out? And the pressure to be able to get back up into the top 3 there?
Well, to be honest with you both, I thought my race was ending on lap 1 because me and the... Don't know what number he was, but me and the whatever car made contact down the back straightaway, and I thought that was the race end for me. But got through what happened there, and then just ran my lane in P4 for a couple laps, and then on lap 9, I got a lucky dose of just luck basically, and the guy in front of me got on the apron a little bit too much and almost wrecked it and went to his outside lane, passed him, and didn't run away, but stayed with him.
Alrighty, man. Well, that's exciting. Well, currently, we don't know who is in the All-Star race. We're waiting for a tiebreaker vote, but congratulations to you. You are in. Do you have any sponsors that you want to thank?
There's really no sponsors I have right now that I can thank, but there's people I can thank for getting me here.
Go ahead, man.
One of them is in this. One of them is in this chat. You know who you are. I don't have to name you. I also have to thank Brian for letting me join this league. It's been a fun couple of weeks. My first races here were not as good, but as we went, it went well. But a big thank you to Josh, to Brian, and to everyone that is a part of this league. I feel I'm still getting to that point. I just need to show everybody that I can get that dub, and I'm hoping tonight I somehow can get that later on tonight. So hopefully I somehow get luckier tonight and somehow win tonight. But I mean, things can happen tonight that are out of our control. So I'm just glad to be here.
have any final words for Benjamin, Matthew?
Well, I was talking to Benjamin before the race. I was trying to give him as much advice as I could, but Benjamin, just congratulations, dude. I told you would race your way in. I knew you could do
Yes,
it.
you did. Yes, you did. And I thank you. And before the race started, I asked you to kind of do a little prayer and just said some things. But yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's a
Alrighty.
great job, man.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, that was Benjamin. I appreciate you coming in and running with us tonight. Let's go ahead and bring up. It looks like the only other guy that we got in the waiting room is our winner. Let's bring up old Landon Burbage here. We'll get him up into the broadcast booth. Landon, this is Josh and Matthew in the booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
How's it feel, man? I know it's not an official race or whatever you want to call it, but you still put money in your pocket, and you got to win, man.
Yeah, man, I feel good. I knew I had the confidence to win this race coming in, and all I had to do was just save tires for at least 25 laps and keep the lead, keep that dirty air bubble behind me. And fortunately, I was able to do it, and I'm proud of myself for that. At least I got some money now.
Yeah, absolutely. How did it feel, man? That 21 was stalking you the whole entire race. Did you feel the pressure from him?
I felt the pressure. I was just trying to maintain the gap. I mean, I would go up high a few laps, and then I'd go up low, try to block him off with the dirty air, and it worked. So I mean, he definitely had some pressure on me there. I thought I was going to lose the lead there, but I mean, you know, you gotta have the confidence, and I did. So I was able to block him off with the dirty air and able to come home with a win.
Absolutely, man. Matthew, take it away.
Well, Landon, you were my favorite going into this. I knew that it was either going to be you or Tyler coming out with the win. I knew where you were on the outside, you were going to get a good run and had a big chance to take the lead coming off of turn 2, which is exactly what you did. Of course, you've been struggling the past couple of days with wisdom teeth. I know how that feels because I raced just like you are the next day after mine got removed. So hopefully you're feeling much better. You've taken a lot of medicine, I know.
Yeah,
But
I'm
you
feeling a
pushed
little
through it.
better now.
You won it.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better now than I did the past few days.
That's
But-
awesome, man. Landon, do you have any sponsors and people you want to shout out?
A shout out to Matthew, man. I mean, he's an amazing person. He's been so good all season. Got 6 wins, and I just appreciate you a lot, Matthew, and you, Josh. Y'all are amazing people. And I want to shout out my dad and my mom, my grandpa, and all of them watching. Appreciate everybody watching as well, and love all of y'all.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Go and get ready for the big race here. Congratulations, and congratulations for putting $25 of my money in your pocket.
Thank you.
All righty. All right. Well, we got some exciting news here, Matthew. Let's do a little drum roll. Nathan Brookover is the final guy to advance into the All-Star race. So Nathan
Wow.
Brookover wins by a vote of 8-7 over Fleetwood. Fleetwood posted that he didn't even have force feedback during the race. So for him to run that amazing, honestly, to make a run up through there and almost advance in is impressive. So congratulations to Nathan Brookover for advancing into the feature. And Fleetwood, man, just keep your head down. You got a good time a coming for the rest of the season and moving in the next season. So again, in summary, congratulations to Landon Burbage, the winner of the All-Star Open. He's going to run for $100+ tonight. Tyler Bellinger, my apologies, in the 21 will start at the back with him. And Benjamin Romano is the final driver with Nathan Brookover advancing to the feature. We'll see you all on the Ghost Racing Network here in just a little bit. Our buddy Bryce is going to fill in for the Dega boys tonight, and he's going to have an exciting race to call. Good luck to all the drivers, including Matthew and myself tonight. Let's put on a good show for all the viewers at home. Thank you to Rubbered Up Productions for being on the YouTube channel tonight. And we are going to join the one with the heat races and go do some practicing. So good luck, Matthew. And thank you, everybody, for watching. This is Josh and Matthew signing off from the Rubbered Up Productions Racing Network.